بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلوات الله وسلامه عليه. The first thing we want to mention today is I received a text message the Salat al-Asr today, Friday, and I highly appreciate the message. During the Khutba al-Jumuah, we had mentioned today that if there is no hospitals like there is in Gaza, after the Zionist Yahud destroyed all 36 hospitals there in Gaza, I said without a hospital to service the people, then the people will be living a life of hell. I said not like the nar of Jahannam, but their life is like hell. And then I mentioned the hadith of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but I mentioned in a way that wasn't correct. And one of the brothers from our students sent me a message. I thank him for that. We don't want to misrepresent the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a ikhtilaf. There is an ikhtilaf between the ulama of al-Islam. Is it permissible to say the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and you say those words and you're just giving the meaning, but you're not saying it the right way, the exact way that he said it? And what I said today wasn't the exact way, but the point is, some of the ulama of al-hadith, the ulama of the sunnah, not the ulama of ilm al-kalam, who make tahrif of his kalam to make it mean something it didn't mean. We're not even talking about those people. We're talking about saying the words of Rasulullah exactly how he said it. Because he told the people, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, tell the people, he said, may Allah illuminate the face of a person who says something that we said exactly how it is. Because it may be that someone who is not present, he's absent, when you go and you tell him exactly what was said, he can understand it in a way that's better than the one who was present. But if you give the hadith bil ma'na, you give the hadith in other than the way the Prophet mentioned it, al-Mustafa al-Mujtaba, Habibuna wa Imamuna wa Qudwatana, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. If you don't say it exactly, then maybe the person is not put in a position to understand it correctly. Some scholars said, you can say the hadith with the meaning. Others said no. And that's a strong dalil. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught his companion Al-Azib. He said to him, Ibn Bara, Al-Azib ibn Bara. He said, say, I believe in the Nabi that you sent. And then Azib said, I believe in the Rasul that you sent. He didn't say the Nabi. And for all intents and purposes, Rasul, Nabi, la yafraq, it's not like a big difference. But when he didn't say what the Prophet said exactly, I believe in the Nabi that you sent, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said Rasul. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I said a Nabi, not a Rasul. And the words are like synonyms. They both basically mean the same thing, but he wanted the person to be precise. So those ulama of al-hadith who say you shouldn't mention his words with the ma'na, You should mention them exactly, or this hadith doesn't yantabiqu alayk. So in making the point that we made earlier, I had mentioned if there's no hospitals, then it could be hell on earth. It could be hell on earth. Any community that doesn't have a hospital in modern day time, no hospital to go to, is hell on earth, especially in Gaza. So I made this istidlal with that, and I said that the Nabi, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the dunya is a Jannah of the believer because he does whatever he wants to do. And the dunya is a nar for the mu'min because he can't do anything that he wants to do. I use that to show it's hell on earth. The brother sent me the hadith and he was correct. The Prophet says, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ad-dunya jannatul al-kafir wa sijnul mu'min. Sijn al-mu'min. The dunya is a prison for the believers, not a hell for the believers. No doubt, there's a big difference between the two. So I want to thank the brother, and I want to make it clear. The hadith is, the dunya is the Jannah of the non-Muslim. Everything is halal for him. In his mind, he does whatever he wants to do. It is a sijin, not a hell. Rasulullah didn't say that. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sallam. That's the first thing. Second thing we want to mention, Ikhwani, is to the point of what we were mentioning today, and we want to add on to it tonight, is this issue like the non-Muslims, the Christians. Now, most of you don't have Christians who are relatives or close people who are Christians and you're close. Most of you don't have that. But the religion of Christianity is a religion in which many times you can be a Christian and the religion itself allows you to do whatever you want to do. You want to eat pork? Do it. You want to get a partner? Akramakumullah. Not a zoj or a zoja. You want to cohabitate and live together? Christians don't care about that. That is what is shari in their life. Do what you want to do. They don't cause their religion, most of them, to govern what they do in the dunya. You want to drink khamr? Drink khamr. Homosexuality, there are Christian preachers and priests, the Church of England, and other than that, African American churches here in America. African Americans tend to be people who, in the past especially, they didn't accept homosexuality. But in their churches, there are a number of popular, very rich, influential African American preachers who are homosexuals. And they are pushing that agenda, and it's getting stronger and stronger. In Islam, I think all of you are aware that there are Muslims who come on social media and they say that they're homosexuals. The Muslims push back on that because we're conservative. We don't play that stuff. But it's becoming more and more and more in the Muslim community. But the Muslim community is not going to accept it. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned, "Lan tajtami'a ummati ala dalala." My ummah will never agree on what is wrong. So you have some people from the Muslims, and I've seen some of them, who believe it's permissible to smoke marijuana. Muslims say that. People push that away. The conservative nature of the Muslims don't allow that. They are always going to be a group of Muslims who are going to say, "You're crazy. You lost your mind." Salam Abdullah. But there will always there will always be a group of people who are following their desires. Always, always. So tonight's talk, inshallah, is a continuation of that thing that we find with the Yahud and the Nasara. Make your religion fit popular culture. They do Easter, don't ask. Where does that come from? That's what the Christians are. Wallahi alladhi la ilaha ghayruhu. It's very difficult dealing with relatives who are intelligent and educated and sitting with them and asking them, what does this have to do with Isa, the Santa Claus and all of that? They usually just say, stop going too deep. What do you mean stop going too deep? You people are worshiping and you're doing this thing. Easter. What does the bunny rabbit and Peter Cottontail and eggs, Easter eggs, what does it have to do with Isa dying after being crucified and being raised up? They don't ask those questions because they want to make their religion fit popular culture. The Nabi al-Mustafa told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we're going to follow those people in everything. So we can't follow in that. That as a Muslim, when something comes to me and people tell me, do this or do that, whether it's from the Christians or the Jews or it's from the Muslims, we have to say, this is not our religion. This is not our religion. Don't allow yourself to say, I have to fit al-Islam into popular culture. What does that mean? I give you some living examples of that. And there are many, many, many. Thanksgiving. What meat do the non-Muslims, the Christians eat? The Muslims, the people. On Turkey Day, what meat do they eat? They eat turkey. So as a Muslim, my family, the people I know, people who invited me, they're eating turkey. So I say to them, make it a halal turkey. Make it dhabah. Slaughter the turkey and say Bismillah. Get the turkey from the Muslims, and that makes the party or the dinner okay. This is a tahayyul that the Yahud used to do. Throw their nets out on Friday, the nets catch the fish all day on Saturday during the Sabbath, and they say, we were not fishing. So the one who makes a halal turkey that makes it okay to do this thing, no. Whether the turkey is halal or not halal, it's something that we shouldn't do. It's a tahayyul. Don't take aspects of the lives of those people to put it in our religion, say, okay, this makes it okay. This is not the case. There are many examples. You know, in Paris and in America, all over, they do these modeling. You know, the lady walks down the thing with the clothes. I've seen with my own eyes many times, especially in my African-American Muslim community, they'll have something like that, where the Muslims are on either side and a man or a woman, but especially the woman, she walks down the thing, she does the walk that they do, the way they walk, and everyone is looking at her, and the clothes that she has on is not hijab, but she has over her head some form of covering. She sees it as khimar other than that. And we think when we get that ticket or we buy that ticket and we go to that function, because we're Muslims and they're walking down, this is okay. You're trying to make popular culture fit into the deen of Allah Azza wa Jalla. There's no such thing. No such thing. Nothing in our religion allows a woman to walk down in front of people sporting clothes with men and women and so forth and so on. And even if it's just women, she's walking down there and the way she's dressed, that is not hijab. That's not hijab. But just put something on your head, walk down, and some people say, this is an Islamic function. We say, no, you're making or trying to make popular culture fit the religion of Islam. It's not okay. One of the worst examples of what I'm talking about is Islamic hip hop, Islamic rap. So there's a concert, an actual real concert, like the famous people who are musicians today, Arabs, non-Arabs. So what the Muslim Shabab are doing today, they'll get up there and they'll do the hip hop thing. And they have the mannerisms and the movements of the hip hop, the thing that they do. Sometimes they take very popular songs that are very popular, and they just put some Islamic lyrics to it. So if you can imagine some popular songs, instead of the negative lyrics that the original song is saying, the person just replaces those lyrics with some words, and they say, Subhanallah, Inshallah, I pray 5 times a day. But it's the same song that blew up. It's the same song that's very popular. It's common. Islamic comedy. So the person stands before the community and he's giving jokes. And the vast majority of the time, the jokes compromise al-Islam. They're lying. They're making exaggeration, and many times they're glorifying what is not from our religion. But a group of Muslims are sitting in the fundraiser, and we listen and we look and we laugh and we think that it's okay. This is causing al-Islam to fit the popular culture. That's what those Christians did when they introduced in their religion Christmas. Why? These Romans are around us. The Romans are not, believers like the Christians. So they believe in this, they believe in that, they do this, they do that. Let's take that, let's adopt that, and just put our own kalam around it. Allah the Father, Allah the Son, Allah the Holy Ghost. Because the non-Muslims, they believed in their stuff, this type of thing. And that's what the Prophet warned about, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, there's going to come a time when people are going to try to make khamr halal. Khamr, scotch, vodka, all that. They're going to try to make it halal by calling it other than its name. They'll call it other than its name. Instead of calling it khamr, they're calling it spirits, feel-good juice, and other than that. The changing and the playing with the name does not change the reality of the situation. One of the things that I saw, and you fathers, we all have to be careful about this, is the dating. Date, D-A-T-E, dating, the dating. So the girl comes without her wali, and a group of people come, men and women. A table is here, a table is there, a table is there, and people just switch tables. So I sit here. Some sister I don't know, no wali, comes, she sits with me, and we start kicking it. We start rapping, getting to know each other. And after 10, 15 minutes, it's up, time is up. She has to go, I have to go, and we meet the next person. This is popular on TV right now. Right now. It's been like that for a long time, where non-Muslims come to meet someone and they try to get to know each other in this way. After 15 minutes, you get up, you go, and this is not our way. Not the way of getting married in Islam. Not our way. And there are many examples of this. So we cannot allow ourselves to take popular culture, the popular culture now, and say, they're doing it this way. We're just going to clean it up a little bit. We're going to clean it up a little bit by making the biha for the turkey or other than that. It's not all right. We have our way, they have our way. Lakum dinukum waliya deen. There's a way you go about getting married. We don't do that. We don't do that. I'm looking in the audience, and brothers that I see in the audience, they have daughters. No one here in his right mind, rajul dhu ghira, he has jealousy and protection, hirs on his daughter. He wants what's best for her. No one here is going to allow that to happen. Not just because he's conservative, but because more than anything else, this is not our way. This is not how we do things. Now, am I a stickler for not being flexible and accepting and embracing thinking? No, I try to be flexible. But we're going to be flexible in things that flexibility is allowed. So I want to share with you, brothers, a few situations concerning this, because it happened during the time of Rasulullah. But it happened with Rasulullah himself, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah is mahfud min indillah, and he is ma'soom. Allah will protect him. Wallahu ya'asimuka min nas. Allah is going to divinely protect you. Rasulullah doesn't know the ilm al-ghayb, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he had many, many enemies, and they used to make al-mu'amarat, trying to hurt him and harm him and kill him. Allah would tell him about it, and he would deal with it, because Allah protected him. He protected him, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But despite that, he himself was in a society, and he's trying to push the dawah, and he's not trying to make things difficult for people. And whenever or wherever he had an opportunity to do something that would make the people pleased with him, he would do it without compromising Allah's anger. So it's natural for a person to be in his environment and to say, I don't want any trouble. And wallahi, I don't want any trouble myself. I don't want any trouble myself. I don't want to come into a place and you're just hardcore. Everybody hates you because you say, haram, haram. Nah, I'm not like that. Sometimes there's just no room for that. But Rasulullah dealt with it. First ayat I want to share with you, Allah Ta'ala told the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَلَوْلَا ثَبَّتْنَاكَ لَقَدْ كِدْتَ إِلَيْهِمْ شَيْءٌ قَلِيلًا إِذٍ لَأَذَقْنَاكَ ضِعْفَ الْحَيَاةِ وَضِعْفَ الْمَمَاتِ ثُمَّ لَا تَجِدُ لَكَ عَلَيْنَا نَصِيرًا. Rasulullah is not Allah. Rasulullah is not the one who is in charge. He is Abdullah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a human being like us. If he has to do what Allah told him to do, then us, by default, we can't play around. But the ayah does show it's just from the fitrah that a person who's existing with the people, he should want to do his best to make insijam. If it's possible, he want. So young people especially have to understand this. Islam did not tell you to come to society and those people who you know, who are not Muslims, and you're always very, Saddam. You're just clashing and you're just rough and tough about everything. If you can work with the situation, work with this situation. Work with the situation to the best of your ability. That doesn't mean bend the rules. That's what this class is about. Don't bend the rules. But one of you young brothers, and we don't want you to be bums. We want you to get a degree and be a professional. Take care of your family and help the Masjid in Islam flourish. Go get a degree. So you're getting a medical degree, and you're in the operating room. You are in the operating room. You may be the anesthesia guy. You give them the thing to make them go to sleep. You may be the doctor. You may be the nurse. You may be responsible for the machines. So when you're about to perform this operation on this miskin and marid, about to die, and you're getting ready, and there are all men, and then a lady comes in, and you say, "No, I'm not going to do this because a lady is here." Not like that, brother. Not like that. And then you just leave the room. There are other people there. There are other people there. And sometimes an individual will be in a situation where it is clearly something you shouldn't do because, for an example, the professor is a woman. And men in our religion are ordered lower the gaze. So during the whole class, he lowers his gaze, he's not watching. And when it's time to dissect the frog or whatever, they pair the Muslim boy with two men trying to get his medical degree. They pair the Muslim girl, they pair the Muslim man with two women. They're going to cut the thing up, dissect the dead body. The Muslim girl, they put two men who are ajnabiyan. They're not her relatives. They put it, and the Muslim boy stops studying medicine because of this. She stops studying because the professor is a woman. We say, no, this is not what we're talking about right here. It's not what. When you find yourself in those kind of situations, then what you have to do is take your situation to someone who knows what the religion is. Don't be too quick to throw in the towel and to stop working. And we see this constantly. Well, we used to see it in England. I haven't seen it here. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the individual who doesn't know how to coexist with the reality. And as adults, all of us, we're dealing with that. And we know how to deal with that. But our youngsters, they don't know how to deal with it. So the young boy or the young girl, they throw 3 years of university down the drain, making a taqarrub ilallah ala hasab fahmihi, according to what he thinks. Two extremes. That's going overboard. And the other thing that's going overboard is to embrace everything, to accept everything, and not to have anything to say. You're working at a job, you drive an ambulance. And the way your job has been is you usually are going out with just men, whatever, just you and another man. Then they want to put a lady with you in the thing. You have the ability to say, hey, can you put somebody else with me? Hey, can you let somebody go in my place? And you try. They say, no, you have to go. You have to go. You better hurry up and go over there because the person is dying. And when the Muslim man says, I'm not going, I'm not driving, I'm not going to be a part of that, we say, not like that. Not like that. Because in our religion, when a person is put in a situation that he can't get out of it, and it is not permissible to be in that situation, but ad-dururat to be al-mahdurat. If you're forced to do something as a doctor, as a nurse, as a professional, then you do it. You fear Allah to the best of your ability. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the situation of the person compromising his religion. Allah said to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, showing this is normal. Not something, you're the only one in this situation. Rasulullah himself was in this situation, trying to give da'wah, trying to be munsajim with the mujtama'. And he has a good heart. He has a clean heart. And he's trying. Allah said to him. And if it wasn't for Allah establishing you, Ya Muhammad, and giving you thabat, you would have tarkan ilayhim. Huh? You would have been, if it wasn't for the fact that Allah established you, Ya Muhammad, you would have been lenient towards them. You would have leaned, L-E-A-N-E-D. You would have leaned towards them. Not because you have doubt about Allah, not because you want to be mutalawwin, not because you're da'if and you're embarrassed and shy, but because you want to help. I don't want to be tough, rough. If it wasn't for the fact that Allah established you, you would have been lenient towards them a little bit. And if you would have done that, would have caused you to taste a punishment in the dunya and a punishment in the hereafter. And you wouldn't have never found any helper along with Allah. So this ayat, we're bringing it to your attention to show you're not a bad person for wanting to be a Muslim amongst non-Muslims. Tony Revert, Abdul Hadi Revert, brothers over there, Reverts. We have non-Muslims who do Christmas and Thanksgiving and Mother's Day and birthdays. My relatives called me December 18th on the phone. I forgot it was my mother's birthday. Talked to my sister, yeah, what's up? She said, oh, here's our mother. We getting ready to sing happy birthday to her. She just wanted you to be a part of the situation. I say to them, you people are kuffar, you don't make a stinja, you have najasat, don't call me anymore. That's not how you have to deal with that situation. Nor is the way to deal with that, I start saying, African Americans, we don't say happy birthday. We don't say that. We say Stevie Wonders, the other Stevie Wonders. You brothers don't know. We sing the Stevie Wonder. I'm not singing that to you or anybody else. But those are the situations we're confronted with. So what do? We grew up all our lives with Christmas, birthday, New Year's, all that stuff like that. If they don't wish you happy birthday, no problem. But if you don't wish your mother happy birthday, that's a dalil you don't love her. That's a dalil you're la'im, qalil al-adab. What do? So we have to always try to find what is the correct Islamic ground. These are real issues that we're dealing with. This is an example for us, and everybody else has his own example. So the fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had to deal with it is an indication that it's natural. It's natural for a person who has aql and he's hakim and he's multazim, finds himself in a circumstance he doesn't want to come across to the people he's around, co-workers or other than that. He doesn't want to appear because he's trying to give an example of Islam. Does he have to say Merry Christmas? Does he have to give gifts? Does he have to shake hands? Does he have to kiss on the cheek? Does he have to go and answer the dawah of the munasaba and the ihtifal, whatever? No, it's two different things. Your desire, our desire to try to fit in, that's natural. But we have to ask Allah for his thabat. Lo la thabbatnaka lakitta ilayhim. You would have been towards them. That's the first example. Second example is Surah Al-Ikhlas. Surah Al-Kafirun, not Al-Ikhlas, Al-Kafirun. Islam was spreading during the seerah of Rasulullah when he was in Mecca, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It kept spreading and spreading and spreading. Ragam Anuf, Abi Jahl, wa ha'ula'i min al-kuffar. Islam was spreading despite them. Just as Islam is spreading despite these people today. All of what they do, all of what they do. Where is the justice? They can play all these games that they want. 9/11, 9/11. More non-Muslims became Muslims as a result of 9/11, although that was a disaster. And the majority of the people who became Muslims at that time were women. Al-Islam oppresses the woman. Al-Islam possesses Al-Islam. Well, why are they becoming Muslims? They're becoming Muslims because they see in Al-Islam al-hurriya, the real freedom and liberty that Islam gives people. Wallahi, I'm telling you, brothers, probably the main reason why I became a Muslim, the main reason, is not because I understood the Tawheed of Allah, who Allah is, what He does, what He doesn't do, where He is. I knew and understood His names and attributes. That wasn't what impressed me the most about Islam. The main reason I became a Muslim was because the Deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, al-Islam, made clear to me this mushkila of asabiyya and ansariyya. But I saw in Al-Islam, a white person didn't have this thing over me. No Arab, no white person was better than me in the religion. That was the main reason, because I grew up in this country in an environment of racism. So when I looked into Al-Islam, I saw, wow, religiously, Al-Islam, there is no institutionalized racism. Judaism, institutionalized racism. The Yahud are the Sha'bullah al-Mukhtar. They do whatever they want to do. And those Yahud, those settlers, Zionists, they look at people as being subhuman and they can do whatever they want to you. You're like an animal. It's like some of us. If you see an ant walking, some of us will let the ant live. You see a spider, some of us will go get a cup. You get the cup, you put the spider in, you throw him outside. Some of us are just going to smash the spider. Just going to smash him and kill him. Some of us are like that. This is how it is. In this thing, I saw Jesus is white, Moses is white, Jibril is white. Even the angels are white. Even the angels. I said, I don't want that religion because I grew up in racism and I don't want any religion over me telling me white people are better than me. I don't want no religion like that. Christianity says that. Judaism says that. Islam doesn't say that. Then I read the story of Usama ibn Zayd, who was very, very dark, extremely dark. Bilal ibn Rabah. And I saw how Al-Islam raised those people up. And I said, this is the deen for me, right here. This is the deen, this is the religion for me, right here. So those kuffar came to Rasulullah because Islam was spreading. Ragam anufihim. Like right now, they can't stop it. When Islam continued to spread, non-Muslims said, Ya Muhammad, we want to make a deal with you, an iqtirah. We want to make a deal with you. We're going to worship Allah the first year, this year, we'll worship Allah with you. And we won't pay attention to our idols and our alihah. We're just going to worship Allah alone because we believe in Him. But next year, Muhammad, next year, we'll leave you alone. We won't fight you. You just worship our aliha next year. Allah revealed the ayat to قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ لَا أَعْبُدُ مَا تَعْبُدُونَ وَلَا تَعْبُدُونَ مَا أَعْبُدُ. I'm not going to be with you people for that. I can't do that. I can't do that. It's another example of how non-Muslims come to us or came to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If they came to him with these types of games, they'll come to you. All right, no problem. We can see you're on what you're on, but we want to give you this idea. This idea is you work here 5 days a week. 5 days a week, sister. Wear hijab 2 days, don't wear hijab 2 days, and on Friday, wear hijab for 4 hours, take your hijab out for 4 hours. Sister, I say, no. This hijab is a part of who I am. This hijab, the Islamic garment, is who I am. That's another instance where the people tried to bribe him. And it used to happen to him a lot. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And wallahi, Rasulullah, he knew how to deal with all of this stuff. The ayat in the surah Abasa wa Tawalla and Ja'ul A'ma, when Rasulullah was telling the blind Muslim man who was a believer, he had prestige in the religion. He was the mu'adhin. He made the adhan. His position is high in Islam, the mu'adhin. And those non-Muslims of Quraysh were here, the powerful people, the powers to be. Popular culture was here. What they accept, what is okay with them, they're here. And here's the Miskeen Muslims. We just starting off. Don't talk about Tawheed. Don't warn against the different groups. Don't do this. Don't be with everybody. No. Don't be rough and tough, mean, nasty, disrespectful, and don't make, a tanfir. But you have to say the truth with hikmah, in the right way, in the right place. Take it easy, man. This hardcore approach and this roughness towards Muslims, it's not our religion. We have to take it easy. Give dawah, help people to understand. Don't be rough and tough like that unnecessarily, but stick to your guns. So the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam turned away from that man to talk to them, to pay attention to the powers that are. Pay attention to the popular culture. Not now. Don't ask your question now. You're one person, and this is the society, these people. Hold on. He didn't say to him, get out of here. No, not now. Let me deal with them. And Allah Ta'ala told Rasulullah, don't do that. Don't do that. Trying to please popular culture and these people, and they're not going to listen to you, and they don't believe in Allah, and they're troublemakers, and they disrespect you, and they're the leaders of kufr, and they disrespected you so many times. And the niyyah of our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was perchance, if I give dawah to these people, they'll cool out. And if they become Muslims, by Allah's permission, if they become Muslims, they're going to protect me and my dawah, and they're going to protect you as well. The blind man, you're weak, you're poor. Allah didn't allow him to do that. Pay attention to the blind Muslim, not to popular culture, and not to these people. Does that mean you're disrespectful to them? No. Aisha said that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Umirna an nunazzil an-nas manaziluhum." We gotta respect people. These people rich. They got power. I don't know if you guys ever see Polk County, Polk. How far is Polk County from here? 1 hour. Hey, Sheikh al-Iraq, ya akhi, you're talking about Anbar and Baghdad, ya Sheikh. We're right here in Qasimi at Sheikh Abul Hadith. I knew it wasn't that far, but I didn't know until I started, and this is the point, Shahidu min al-kalam. There is a sheriff in Polk County. He comes on the internet, he's very popular. And he is pro law and order. Last week, there was a problem between a law-abiding citizen and a criminal. And the criminal was threatening the law-abiding citizen, and he was very aggressive. And he took out a gun and started hitting it up. And the law-abiding citizen took out his hammer and blasted that guy. He blasted him dead. It's on the internet. That sheriff from Polk County came and he gives these talks about stuff. I don't know. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? How do you know, brother? That's the only reason why you know, right? Alhamdulillah. You don't know this man, though, do you? He blasted that guy. The sheriff was saying, praising the citizen. He was praising the citizen. He did what he had to do, and he was talking down and bad about the criminal. And that's how he is. That's why I watched that guy. The point is, we've been ordered to respect the popo, the feds. If they stop you, if this, the one who's your boss, you have to respect people. Rasulullah was on the religion that he brought. He wasn't trying to disrespect those people. He was trying to give them dawah. Perhaps they would accept Islam and help al-Islam. And he wasn't trying to put his companion down. Ibn Maktoum, the mu'adhin, may Allah be pleased with him. But there's another example, Ikhwani, of how Rasulullah was trying his level best to deal with the popular culture in a way where he's trying to help the situation. Not anti-social. He's not anti-social. Get out of here. That's not our religion. It's a balance between the two. So don't try to make al-Islam fit popular culture. That's the point. Another example. There's a companion. His name is Ka'b ibn Malik. Ka'b ibn Malik was one of 3 companions who did not travel to the war of Tabuk, which was a very, very difficult war. It was very hot, and it was far, far away from Medina. They had to travel all the way to that place. It was very hot. It was going towards Sham, towards Jordan, to that area. It was hot, and it was very, very difficult. These 3 companions, and I encourage all of you to read the story. Go back and read about Ka'b ibn Malik and the other 2 companions, yarhamakumullah, who was with him. May Allah be pleased with them. When the Prophet went to that war, that was very difficult. And then he returned from, just imagine, Ikhwani, just imagine. Traveling on horse and by walking in the heat, and you get there and you fight, you kill, people get killed. After that, you come all the way back in the heat, riding camels, horses, and you're tired, and you arrive. When you arrive back, there are people who didn't go. Where were you, Nazir? Why you didn't come with us? Were you on your farm making juice and stuff like that? Where were you? Where were you, Akhi Jassim? You didn't come with us, man. We needed you on this war. What were you doing? Eating Bangladeshi fish? What were you doing? So when they came back, these 3 didn't go. Rasulullah went to the Masjid, prayed 2 rakats, and the people came to him. The 3 people who didn't go. One of them was Ka'b ibn Malik. And the only reason he didn't go was he was just not, he kept saying, I'm going to catch up with them. I'll catch up with them. I'll catch up with them. And they just got further away. He wound up not going. When Prophet Muhammad is on the trip, he said, where is Ka'b ibn Malik? One of the companions said, Ya Rasulullah, he stayed back in Medina. He was just worried about his clothes and how nice and clean they were and his horse, and he didn't come. As if to insinuate he's a munafiq. He didn't come with us. So Rasulullah had in his mind a mental note, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ka'b ibn Malik is not here. When he came back, he sat in the masjid. Different people came to talk to him after coming back. Ka'b ibn Malik came. He said, narrating the incident, Ka'b ibn Malik said, Kuntu aqdir an-nas al-kadhib. I had the ability to lie to him more than anyone else. I can lie if I wanted to. And I'm eloquent. I could tell him why I didn't go and make up a lie. He said, but I was afraid that if I were to lie to him, Allah will reveal from the sama and expose me. This is one of the reasons Ikhwani, the companions are not like us. The companions were not like us. They're on a different standard. Because if one of them did something with their wife, revelation could come down. We're sitting here. No one knows how the next person is with his wife here. No one knows, but Allah knows. قد سمع الله قول التي تجادلك في زوجها وتشتكي إلى الله. Allah revealed Surah Al-Mujadala. Verily Allah hears the complaint of the woman in the resources of her home who come to you. They complain to you, Ya Muhammad. Allah knows her situation and what's going on between her and her husband. And Allah Ta'ala exposed the situation for the whole ummah to benefit. So Ka'b ibn Malik, being a companion, he knew revelation could come down. Ikhwani, before I move on another step, inshallah, or an inch of a step, or centimeter, or millicentimeter, this is one of the reasons, again, why the companions of the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam are on the highest level of Islam. Because as they lived with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, anything that they did in private, Allah could expose them. And it made them people who walked the straight way even more. Even more. Because no one wanted to be exposed. No one. So they were on a high level. Anyway, Ka'b ibn Malik came and said, Rasulullah said, why you didn't go? He didn't have any excuse. He said, I have no excuse. Rasulullah told the man, all right, go. He stopped giving him salams for 30 days. He wouldn't say salam alaikum. Ka'b ibn Malik said, I would come to Rasulullah in the masjid after that days and say, Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah. He said he will look at me and turn away. I don't know if he returned the salams or not. This is the Nabi of Islam who said, if someone gives you salam, you have to give him back the salam. Haqqul Muslim al Muslim sit. Either salam alayhi, you got to give him the salam. Got to give him the salam. He said, I don't know if he's giving me salam. He didn't give me salams. 30 days. After a few days, Rasulullah told Ka'b ibn Malik's wife and the other two men, and they are all good Muslims. They just didn't go. He told the women, avoid your husbands. Don't have relationships with them. The man himself would say, my wife don't have relationships with me. What? Your father, your brother, the whole community, if they told you not to have a relationship, give me my right, it's going to be a problem. World War III. Nobody can tell you. But when the Prophet told those women, don't have, they said, okay, we finish. Except one of them. The lady said, Ya Rasulullah, my husband, Hilal, he's an old man. If I boycott him and I make hajr and I don't deal with him, no, he needs me to cook for him. He needs me to take care of him. He said, okay, you can do it. His rahmah on that man and the wife as well. Time went by, and after some days, listen to this, a group of kuffar came from Asham, from an Asqalan, from some tribe, and they said to Ka'b ibn Malik, the guy who was a leader from there, wrote a letter. Ka'b ibn Malik, we heard what has happened between you and your sahib, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You have drama. No problem. Leave him. Leave him. Come to us and we're going to raise you up. We're going to give you money. We're going to give you prestige. We're going to do all this. Don't worry about him. Popular culture, people today, give you an opportunity to get paid or whatever it is, like the feds, the police, whatever, they come to you and tell you, spy on the Muslims. Come to us, go to the Masjid and pray with the Muslims and come back to us and tell us what's going on. Secretly record people. Wallahi, this happened in the UK with myself. Young guy will come to me, I don't know who he is. He comes to me recording me. I don't even know he got a recorder here. And his brief, he was recording me and I'm sitting there. And it looked nefarious. It was dark. We were in my room. He said, he told me when I saw him, I want to go to Medina. Can you help me? I said, sure. We're about to pray. I said, come to my office. After we prayed, went to my office. He comes into the office. This cat was recording me, man. He was recording me. One recorder here and another in his briefcase. And he said to me, so I want to go to Medina. I said to him, if you want to go to Medina, get this, that. When that program came out on TV, and I'm not talking about cable TV, it was on CBS, ABC, it was on the main channel in the UK, the main channel. And they showed the part where we were talking, and it was, their narrative was, I'm helping him to go to make jihad. It's called Undercover Mosque. It was a big fitna in the UK. And the UK police got involved, and they looked at the statements that I really said that the people took out of context, and they brought those people up on charges because they misconstrued what I was saying to get us all in trouble. So the point is, when those people came to Ka'b ibn Malik, they said, we're going to pay you. Just follow us and be against the Muslims and begin. Ka'b ibn Malik said, no way. I don't care about public opinion and I don't care about popular. I say to you, brothers, if that was present during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, this is present right now. All masjids, our community have people who are with us and they're not with us. They're not with us. They're reporting. But that doesn't mean that when I meet you, brothers, I see this brother over here. What's your name, son? Qadir. I never met, I think I saw you before, right? Were you here before? Qadir has his hair the way he is. He looks different. First time he's here, I say he's with the feds. Hey, Q, you with the feds, man? I didn't think so. But when I say we have them in our community, don't look at people like that. Don't do that. Not permissible. When they tried to bribe him, he said, no way. So I'm not going to do that. And then Allah Ta'ala revealed ayat of the Quran in which he exonerated Ka'b ibn Malik and the other two Muslims, the other two people who were with him. May Allah be pleased with all three of them. So the point here of today's reminder and the dhikr of today is, in the natural dunya that we're in, you brothers are professionals, some higher professionals than others. But we're all working with non-Muslims and we're around non-Muslims. And it shouldn't be our goal and our objective to be disrespectful. If this is their holidays or this, that, we don't practice that. We don't practice that. But you don't have to be disrespectful. You don't have to be nasty to people. There's a way to talk to our relatives. Birthdays, Christmas, Thanksgiving, they have Hummer, they have whatever's going on. They're not married. They have dogs in their homes. There are a lot of things that go against Islam, and you are a Muslim. Don't be disrespectful to people, but you have to hold your ground. You have to hold your ground. And you can't be a person who's always easily ready to acquiesce. This brother, when he used to come to classes for the Shabbat that we had on Saturday, he was one of the best spellers, my man Rayan. Rayan, spell for me acquiesce. Hurry up, man. We gotta get on. Go ahead. I told you, if you go to Medina and you study Islam, that's good, but you still have to learn how to count and spell. Spell acquiesce. Up top, that's it, brother. Go back. Used to be good, brother. That's because you don't come to the class no more. You fall off. Get back in the classes, okay? Acquiesce, what it means is you compromise your position. You compromise the truth in order to make somebody happy with you. And the truth that you're compromising is a truth that you should not, it's not permissible for you. In Islam or in the dunya, in Islam or the dunya, where you agree with people just to make them happy, and you know fully well what you're agreeing to goes against your principles. They go against your identity. You have to be able to stand up and say, hey, I'm not doing that. Let me ask you brothers a question. No, I'm not going to ask that question. That may be no, I'm not going to ask that question. So this is what we wanted to present, Ikhwani, concerning tonight's dhikr. But one thing, last thing that I want to mention to you is this hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in terms of al-adl and justice. He says sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Inna al-muqsitin ala manabir min nur ala yamin ar-Rahman. الذين يعملون في حكم الذين يعدلون في حكمهم وأهليهم وما ولوا." From the virtues of being fair and just with those who are around us, in our close vicinity, and in our own lives. So when we talk about justice, it's not a far-fetched concept. It's something close to everybody, and everybody has to do it. All of us have to do it. He said, verily those people were fair and just, those who have al-qist, and they are fair and just. وَأَقِيمُوا الْوَزْنَ بِالْقِسْطِ. Be fair and just and establish things in justice. Those people who are fair and just, Yawm al-Qiyamah, they will be upon members, pulpits made out of light, glowing for all to see. They are those people who were fair when they rendered a ruling. They were fair with their families, and they were fair with any and everything that they had to judge in. I want to say something very quickly. Some of our young brothers and sisters, they don't know much about Al-Islam, and even in Masjid As-Sunnah, we're dealing with making decisions. We have some people who claim, our brothers and sisters, they want to be on the Sunnah, they want to do the thing the right way, but they're rough and tough. If you don't agree with them, they fall into your honor, your ird. You're deviant. You're against the Sunnah. You're against Islam. Just because you don't agree with them. If you're a Masjid As-Sunnah, by default, you're a deviant. You're against Islam. Just because you're going to Masjid As-Sunnah. This hadith, for anyone who's hearing me, from those who are listening, the people who are fair and just will be on members made out of light, Yawm al-Qiyamah. They are those people who are just. They're just when it comes to their families, and they're just when it comes to what they're responsible for. Don't talk about people's religion like that. He's a deviant. He's a mubtadi'. You don't know why you're saying that? People in Masjid As-Sunnah are trying to address the challenges and the issues of the Muslims in Central Florida. Are we perfect? By the law of the Ka'b, we're not perfect. But you're not perfect neither. You, your mother, your father, and your community, and your sheikh. You're not perfect neither. You're not perfect. You start talking about people, and that characteristic you apply to this brother, that sister is not correct. You're not being fair and just. Fear Allah. You don't want to be in a nur, made out of light. People come to you and ask you, what's your position about Abu al-Harith? Who's Abu al-Harith? Abu al-Harith in our community is from Iraq. He's from Iraq. He's a Shi'i. He hates Abu Bakr and Umar. He's a mubtadi'. Did you hear him say that? Did you read a book where he wrote that? Did you hear you have a record? Why are you saying that? He's from Iraq. Just like that? Where's the fairness in that? Where's the justice in that? That's not just. And this is one of the big mushkilas that's keeping our dawah now, after some of these people have taken our dawah off of the maslak as-sahih and making it taqaddum, and now we in all this nonsense and this drama. If you don't know, be quiet. And if you know, talk with evidence and talk with knowledge. Talk with knowledge and proof. Which of the fundamentals of the Sunnah did he go against? Does he curse Abu Bakr and Umar? No. No. Does he believe you put your intellect before the Kitab and the Sunnah? No. He doesn't say that. He doesn't say that. Is he doing this? No. So why are you saying that? You're saying that just because you are hizbi. You with your hizb. Kullu hizbin bima ladayhim farihun. Every group is just with what they're saying. All right, my brothers, if you brothers have any questions, anything like that about today's khutbah, today's lesson, feel free to put it forward now. Hal indakum shay? Hey, my man, go see if the grub